So about a month ago, I bought a trip to LA to do a solo trip. And, over the years, I haven't taken the time to work on myself and do some self-care. All the vacations I've done over the last few years have been to see my family, which is nice, but I needed a trip to take by myself where I could truly decompress and do exactly what I wanted to do when I wanted to. So I caved and I bought a ticket. And if you're waiting for friends or family to go do the things you want to do, and they keep making excuses, just go live your life. Go buy that plane ticket. Go take that road trip. You don't have to have people with you to go have fun. And as I was flying out, you can see below in the shot, Eastern State Hospital, which is a psychiatric hospital basically for the criminally insane. But they house some of the most dangerous patients in Washington State. As we continue, you'll notice scablands below. And these scablands were created by the Missoula floods that took place thousands of years ago during the Ice Age. Here in this shot, you have the Tri-Cities, and the Tri-Cities is famous for the Hanford reactor site. In this shot, you have Mount St. Helens, Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, and Mount Hood. One kind of cool thing about my trip on this flight specifically was I was given a complimentary free alcoholic beverage because I got lucky enough to be placed towards the front of the airplane, and I didn't pick my seat. It was a random choice by the airline company for me to be placed in this spot. And fast forward a bit, we're now in California. So I'm flying into Oakland, and unfortunately I have a 4-hour layover in Oakland, but that's okay. I'm gonna find a restaurant to go to, grab a drink, grab some lunch, and relax for the next 4 hours until I have to fly out for my next flight to LA. So the restaurant that I ate at was called the Draft House, and the food was okay. It was pricey, but that's expected for an airport restaurant. So after I took some time to relax, I eventually took off and prepared for my next flight to actually get into LA. So you notice in the background, in the shot, you have San Francisco. And then right here, you have the Golden Gate Bridge yet again. And eventually, you have the California coast. As I fly down into LA, you'll notice Venice Beach down below. As soon as I got down into LAX, it was my goal to get out of the airport as soon as possible so I could get to the hotel and relax. I was staying at Motel 6, and online it said that the motel provided a shuttle to pick people up from the airport. Well, I spent about 20 minutes scrambling to actually find the pickup location for the shuttle, and eventually I found it, and I assumed it was going to be free, but it was $10. But compared to the almost $40 that Uber was charging to pick people up from the airport, $10 was not bad. So we made it to the motel room. And it's not bad for a Motel 6. I got a little desk right here if I want to do some video editing. I have a mirror if I want to look at myself. And here's my bed. It's very comfortable. I got a TV right here. But the hotel is definitely in the ghetto. There's like 20 people staring into the back of a trunk out in the parking lot. I don't know why. But here in a few, I am probably gonna go down the street to a dispensary and pick myself up a joint and a cartridge. Luckily, there's a dispensary just a few blocks away from my hotel, so it shouldn't take more than 10 minutes to get to the dispensary and another 10 minutes to get back to my hotel. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do after. I'm probably gonna grab dinner, but I don't know where yet. So the dispensary situation was a bit odd because I'm used to Washington's dispensaries that are basically like Apple stores, and that's not going to be every dispensary in Washington State, but I would have to say probably 70 to 80% of the dispensaries out here, they're very clean, very well kept, very open, and they're not hard to find. This dispensary was hard to find. It was in the back of a parking lot. There was no distinguishing signs to point out that it was an actual dispensary. And so I ended up walking in, took the chance, and I walked into this empty room. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm in the wrong spot, until I heard hello. And I noticed a guy, and he was standing behind a slit. So he was standing behind a wall, and there was a small slit in the wall, and I assumed that was where you passed off your ID to ensure that you were 21 to get into the actual dispensary. So I gave him my ID, and eventually I was let through into the dispensary, and I picked up my joint and a cartridge, and eventually made my way back to the hotel. But first I wanted to grab dinner, so I stopped at a place called Mellow Burger, which was right down the street from Motel 6, and I chose to eat there for dinner. The food was okay. Yet again, just like the airport, it was pricey. It was almost $17 for a burger, fries, and a drink. And when I was asked if I wanted a drink, I said, do you have Coke or Pepsi products? And the employee looked at me like I was crazy. Then she looked at her coworker, and her coworker, she's like, oh yes, we have a Coke. They both had very limited capabilities when it came to speaking English, so I can get the confusion. But when you're working at a restaurant or, a fast food joint like that, you should know whether or not you sell Coke or Pepsi products. So after I finished eating, I eventually made my way back to the hotel. So I think I'm gonna hang out at the hotel for the rest of the night. I was gonna go down to Redondo Beach, but it's $25 for an Uber down there and $25 back. That doesn't include a tip, and I really don't want to spend $60-70 to go down to a bar for a few hours. So I'll probably do Redondo tomorrow or maybe Monday. I never made it to Redondo Beach that night, nor did I make it to Redondo Beach at all for the trip. So guys, if you want to continue watching this series, part 2, if it is not out already, should be out here soon.